In terms of some tips, tricks, things and that I wish I knew when I was starting out, couple things. First is that you're going to need to work with a lot of creators. And it's a very, very manual process. Most of the people that you're going to work with are probably going to ghost you, are probably not going to create great content. And it's going to take time, and you're going to need to operate at a certain high enough scale in order to see returns. If you work with one creator for, let's say, half a month or a month and you don't see anything hit, you're not really giving it a fair shake. It's kind of like loading up Facebook ads or Amazon PPC and putting an absurdly low budget and just getting disappointed when you're not seeing any sort of return. So if you want to give this a real go, I would say starting off with 3 to 5 creators minimum and letting them run for 3 months. Now, I had to run the spray and pray model. Working with a large number of creators across a large number of accounts, just spamming the For You page day in, day out. I do want to mention that there are other ways to basically, capitalize on, the short form wave that we're seeing. And, the other alternative is to really focus highly on one channel and, having intense focus and effort into every video being put out. 2 brands that I think are crushing this are Midday Squares and Mini Katana. Unlike me, they have one person full-time that's spending hours strategizing, script writing, videoing, it's going into post-production, and that also works well. I like the spray and shoot model because for me, it's more so about mitigating my risk. I'm in the sex space, I'm in the supplement space, and so pages are constantly getting taken down and shadow banned or deleted. And so, it's kind of how I go about it. But if I'm in your shoes, I would definitely evaluate both models, right? Working with a mass number of creators at scale horizontally, or really focusing your efforts on one page. Midday Squares, they basically run a TV show kind of thing, where they're talking about the behind the scenes of building their business and building their brand. Mini Katana does some really high production stuff. One of their videos was catching a bullet with a sword. Absolutely nuts. Whatever model you end up using, you need to be leveraging TikTok organic and creating this sort of content flywheel. The opportunity is just too great. So hopefully by this point, I've talked about creating that flywheel. That's kind of the first pillar. That's the main pillar. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of things that you can do to leverage all the hard work and the success that you've already have to give this content a new life and capitalize on it even further. So one of the other channels that I run with is meme pages. There are networks of theme pages on Instagram and on Twitter that are putting up billions of impressions every single month. They have networks of accounts that reach hundreds of millions of followers. And so what I do is I take my most viral creatives that crushed on TikTok that have been validated, I shrink them down onto kind of a white background, put a caption over it, and then I pay these Instagram meme pages and Twitter meme pages to post it. We know that the content converts and it's already been proven to be viral. We also know that these theme pages have millions of followers, and built-in distribution. Those 2 things in aggregate create, super viral content again. And, we don't have to spend any more time or work building the videos. We're simply just giving it a second life. In order to kind of work on this channel, you're going to need to have somebody on the inside. And the reason being is that this space is run by 16 to 22-year-old kids, gate-kept on Telegram groups. And so you're going to want an inside man or an inside agency that has the direct relationships that can get you on these pages for good deals. Another channel that I highly recommend is reposting your content, right? Again, with the core tenet that if it went viral on TikTok, it'll likely go viral on Instagram Reels, it'll go viral on Facebook Reels, it'll go viral on YouTube Shorts, Pinterest Idea Pins. It's important to syndicate your content, not just focusing on TikTok. I think that's where most of kind of content starts off, but then might as well spread it across all the other platforms. Initially, I had my VA open up 10 accounts on each platform, and he was manually posting things. I also tried a software like Repurpose.io to kind of streamline it. And while we were having some success, it wasn't operating quite at the scale that I wanted it to. I didn't want to put 10 reposts a day up. I wanted to put 10,000. That's what would move the needle.